Hey guys, and welcome back to Art for the Week. For this week, we're going to kind of keep building on what we studied last week, looking at composition, trying to create balance, trying to create movement through our artwork. We're going to be doing the same thing, but we're going to be creating a radial design. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that in the next few slides. We're going to be studying one of my favorite artists, Andy Goldsworthy. Andy basically uses anything he can find in nature and builds it in a way that looks interesting and then takes a photo of it. So he's a sculptor, but he's also a photographer. We'll get to see lots of his artworks and kind of get your brain thinking about what we can make this week. Okay guys, so this is Andy Goldsworthy. He is one of my favorite artists, like I said. He likes to work in nature with found objects, meaning he's just kind of working with what he finds in the place that he's at, and he uses usually rocks and sticks and ice and leaves and branches and anything he can find in nature to create an artwork from that. We're going to see a few examples of his artworks, and the artworks we're studying are going to be radial designs, meaning that they're going to start in the center and kind of radiate outwards. Alright, so what we're studying this week is a radial design. And a radial design actually uses balance, much like the last artwork we were creating. A radial balance is a type of balance based around a circle where everything kind of extends out from the middle. You can see this example here with these leaves. It kind of has an open center, and then it goes around in different color leaves that he found on the ground. So we're going green to a few rows of yellow, to a few rows of orange, to a few rows of red, and it looks like it's in some water suspended somehow. And his artworks are really cool because they don't last forever. They're kind of only there for the moment, and he tries to capture it with a photo, which is what we're going to do as well. Alright, so here we see another one of his artworks where he's created actually half a circle with some sticks and placed them in the water so that when you're looking at it straight on, you see a full radial design. What's really interesting about Andy Goldsworthy's artworks is that they're not permanent and they don't last forever. He's been quoted saying that it's not about the art, it's just about life and the need to understand that a lot of things in life do not last. So he's basically using this idea that he can find and put together this beauty, but it doesn't necessarily need to last, although he does take a photo of it to kind of prove that it existed at one point. So we see in this radial design that it's starting in a circle and it's spreading out from that point, but it's not actually a full circle. That's also okay. That's part of your design. The balance in this image is how he's using the rest of the space as the leaves kind of expand out into that space. Alright, so here's one last artwork from Andy, and what I want you to look at this one is this a radial design? It's very different from the rest of them, where it doesn't have a clear defined center, but it is essentially a radial design because it's starting in the middle and kind of working out to the outside. I love this one where he's using the really bright leaves against the darker tree trunk there and then kind of fading it back down into the rest of the leaf color. It just makes it really pop. Not all of his artworks were radial designs, just the ones we're studying this week will be. Okay, so for this week what you guys will need is basically anything you can find in nature to make an artwork with. Sticks, leaves, rocks, anything that you can really use that you can kind of put together to make your artwork. And when you're done, you'll need your iPad so you can take a photo and share your artwork with us. Alright, so here's an example of one created just using some leaves and some flowers, some pine cones, and just different things we kind of found around in the yard, different types of leaves. Even used some grapes that we had in the house just to kind of add to the design a little bit. Basically, all you do is you arrange them, and then you want to try to create an interesting photo of them. That's how you're capturing the composition with the photo, like a photographer would. Alright, so for example, this is actually that same artwork, just taken at a different angle and a little bit closer. So we lose some of the image around the outside, but we gain a different perspective on the artwork itself. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. I want you to use stuff you found in nature or found outside your house, arrange it in a radial pattern, take a photo, and then share it with us so we can all talk about it. Alright guys, good luck, and I'll see you in a few days.